Hello, people. I hope you're doing fine today. Another me, another day. I'm back. I know. I had a couple of break for Christmas. I had an amazing time with my boyfriend's family. My family lives in Cameroon, so every Christmas now is a virtual thing. We're calling each other, saying Merry Christmas and just kind of just catching up, right? It's a really great way at some point to just appreciate when people are close to you, there in front of you. And that's a really great theme and topic that we're gonna share today because on Sunday, December 29th, we had the Holy Family celebration, Joseph, Mary, and Jesus, right after Christmas, right? So it was a good way to kind of go from the birth of Jesus Christ to the family, right? And what is more beautiful than a family than just having a family? And the priest had an amazing homily. It's the reason why I'm here today to share whatever I had, like the thought that I had and that I kind of got inspired from whatever it is, everything that he was saying. And the first part was about family. And when we look at Jesus Christ and Joseph and Mary, we see the Holy Family, we see a perfect family. We see a family with values, we see a family with a lot of love, right? And it kind of good went back at it, kind of showing the love and how much is important to have family, how much is important to transmit those values to your child, right? And children that you may have. And then he kind of did a turn in the church of all the families that he knew, and he knows a lot of people by heart, like a lot of people from the church. He could name them, he knows them by the name. And that's the human relationship that you want, especially when you go to mass and you have a priest that kind of becomes a part of your family, right? And he knows you by your name and kind of just really are intrigued into whatever happens with you and really curious and not trying to play the nice priest, but actually is a great priest, right? Inside and out. So he came back to that, came back to the picture that we're having from Christ, and the fact that he came to a family to kind of show us what it is to have a family, the beautiful family, and in what it is to have a family, the dynamic of family could be really great to kind of flourish, to kind of really build your self-esteem and really find your place into the world after that. But it can be the place where there's a lot of suffering, right? When you have the divided families, when you have toxic relationships with your parents, with your siblings, and there's a lot of it today, right? So we kind of came back at it and really sharing how it's hard, how it's challenging now to even being able to see your children, to even being able to see your parents, and to actually transmit those values to to your children. And being a Christian, right, it's even harder because especially here I feel like in Quebec there's that really big challenge, especially for parents. And I see them on each mass, right? Parents can parents, and having them coming alone, and they have children, but children, they're just not interested in participating in that. It's not a thing, right? And he was sharing a couple of stories and parents that were calling him and kind of were desperate because they didn't know what to do no more, because a lot of the children was not, they were not willing to come back to the church, right? They were not interested into it. And something that he said and just hit me, that was the first part that hit me, was that sometimes it can take up to years, months, week to be able to kind of collect what you planted. And sometimes it's gonna take as much, it's gonna take as long, but you really have to just keep praying, keep being patient. And sometimes it's just gonna happen when you least expect it. And because of all those divisions that we have now in the society, we see the same divisions within the families. And something that always kind of breaks my heart a little is when I literally see people having the siblings, having the parents near to them and really not even taking the time to kind of call them and just having a relationship with them and spending time with them. And I'm not a person being on the phone all the time with my mom, you know, and even with my siblings. I'm not really good with phone. I'm not a fan of phone. Just not a fan of the phone. It's just not my thing. But if there's something that I kind of value a lot, is the relationship that I have with my siblings, is the relationship that I have with my parents. And even if we don't talk all the time. We do talk a lot of times, especially with my siblings, because we have that group in WhatsApp where we kind of share everything. Like, could be the jokes of the day, could be a picture that we see that was funny, could be anything. We literally share anything and everything, right? When I talk to my mom, even if it's not all the time, when we talk, it's really a point of just catching up about everything, right? It's not the thing where you feel like you have to call, even if you feel that at the beginning. It's a thing where you just remember that it's your mom. So there's a lot of things that you can share and you're just being yourself. So it was talking about that difficulties that we have here in the societies today to kind of entertain that, right? And when you go back at the Holy Family, right? They were humble, they were modest, they were living in a modest way. It was a really modest lifestyle that Mary and Joseph they had with the child Jesus, but they manage to entertain and to have a lot of values. And we talk about Jesus being the Son of God, but we forget that he kind of was born in a family, right? He grew up with values. He grew up with values from what the parents gave to him. And that's how he was able to become the person that he became. Beyond being the son of God, right? He learned a lot. He was with his father. His father was a carpenter. So there's a lot of time that he probably spent a lot with his dad. Even though we don't have all those details in the Bible, we literally assume that he probably spent a lot of days, a lot of time with his dad. And then the mom was there present and really making sure that everything was good and everything was all right with everybody. And he was sharing all of these stories about families being broken, families being divided, but at the same time, families that sometimes, even after many years, they were able to kind of reunite together and being able to have the children come back to church, come back to praying, come back to being a family. And there's a woman. I call her my Italian mom or my Italian grandmom because she's a bit older and she's so cute. Oh, she's so cute. She's my favorite. Like, I really call her my Italian grandma. And I have no problem even saying that to her. She's the cutest. And I remember a couple of times she came with her grandson, and this time around her grandson was not around, like for the Christmas celebration time. I didn't see her grandson this Sunday, and we were at a different church on the Christmas day, so I couldn't necessarily know if she came with her grandson or not. But that was a picture literally that I had from just children, siblings coming back to church. And today what I want to share is just the value and the love and the respect that you got to be able to build up in your all family dynamic. And what I see today is definitely the opposite, right? Because in Canada, I think one of those first times that I find it challenging to talk about Christmas in the society, in public, let's say, right? In the companies, there's a lot of things and a lot of point to kind of keep it inclusive, right? You can say Merry Christmas, it has to be inclusive. You can say Happy Holidays. And the point I feel like for Canada, what they're trying to do is not, I think, something that is confirmed. It's like a lot of rumors and things that I hear from people that I know around me, is that they are looking for a way to kind of literally get rid of the Christmas essence of what it is, the 25th of December, to replace it with a family day. And when you look at the Holy Family, we still celebrate it, right? In the Christmas tradition, we celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ, but the literally the next Sunday, we do celebrate the family, we do value the family, we do respect the family dynamic, because it's the point, the story, the essential part of what it is to be a human being. You are part of a family, you're part of the society. If you don't learn how to grow up into your own family, you're gonna have a lot more issues growing up and being in the society, right? It could be minor issues, it could be major issues. And when we think about what is happening today, I want to say it's more major than minor. Because he was talking about that. I was on TikTok, on YouTube, and this somebody that I follow, that I know, a YouTuber, a girl. She lives in France, and she's French African, and she has a lot of trouble mentally speaking, right? She's going through a lot. She's been going through a lot for years and years and years at this point. And she was talking about surviving for Christmas, right? And her guide to survive on Christmas was to get as far as away as possible from families, from your family, right? To try to find excuses to not come at Christmas dinners, and really being able to kind of overprotect yourself at the end of the day, because you are in your own mental situation, right? And you feel like your family don't understand you as much. You feel like people that are supposed to be caring about you, they don't care about you. You feel like you need to be called a certain name, right? When we talk about family, the first word that I always have is a sacrifice. But at the opposite of today, when we talk about families, we talk about like groups, right? Groups where you come and take something. You don't come and give, you come and take something. And that's the dynamic that she had when she was sharing the guide onto surviving for Christmas and Christmas dinners, and how it was hard to be able to go through your family and being able to find all of the excuses, because your family, your siblings, your aunt, your uncle, they always gonna come at you and ask you a million questions. What is it that you do now? Are you married? Do you have kids? We know. And when you're black and when you're African, talking about my own experience here, yes, at a certain age, it's a given for some people to come and just ask you a million questions, like, are you married? Are you not? Like, what is it that you do? It's like, it's late for you. Why is it that you don't have kids? No, like, you're not married yet? How old are you? And there's something with black families, African families. There's no shyness. The shyness, it died like ages ago, right? Like, there's no problem and issue about asking you about anything and everything. So when I hear about boundaries here, I'm like, there's no boundaries. We don't know those boundaries in a lot of black African families, because they're gonna be like, you need to respect my boundary, and then the uncle's gonna be like, are you mad? Are you okay? Did you drink something? It's, I think of it now because it's funny, but it's not when you get into the situation, because you're always trying to kind of run around and be like, where's my mom? And I remember, even with my mom, every time that I was going to camera to see my parents and my siblings, there was always that thing when when you meet your uncle and your aunt, because it's been such a long time and you're growing up, so you're getting at the age when it's normal and expected for you to be a woman, to be married, to have a child, all of those things. And then the question is gonna happen. It's gonna be like, well, what is going on here? It's funny, but again, you can see at it as, yes, a way where it's not necessarily the most comfortable thing ever, but you can see it at a way too, where it's still your family, right? It is still love you, they still care about you, and your mom is not gonna come at you asking you a ton of questions like that because she hates you. Yes, it's gonna be embarrassing. Yes, it's gonna be frustrating, but it's gonna be frustrating for you, right? Not because she doesn't love you, not because she doesn't care about you. It's not because she doesn't call you by your preferred pronoun that it's the major issue, right? That it's something that you have to avoid at all costs. And that's the dynamic that she was sharing. That's the dynamic that she was coming up with into the guide of surviving for Christmas, right? And the point was to overprotect yourself at all costs, avoid your family, avoid your siblings, find excuses, be heartless almost when people ask you. And even if you don't have an excuse to be to not be in the gathering for Christmas, if you're there, come up with excuses, trying to ask questions just for the sake of asking them, pretend that you're interested into whatever they're gonna share with you, but it's just pretending at the end of the day. So don't open up at the end of the day. Just be there to be there because they asked you to be there, and that's pretty much it. And that kind of reminded me of what the priest was talking about, into the family being the dynamic for the suffering as well. And I was like, that's true, right? And nobody has a perfect family. I don't have a perfect family. Oh, I don't have. I don't have a perfect family. But what I kind of find I'm the most grateful about is that they're still alive, they're still healthy, and they love me, and I love them. And that all that matters. That's love right there, because you can be mad at your family and your siblings as much as you want. You can be mad at the question that's gonna be literally shot at you. That's fine. But they still love you, you still love them. And the Christmas tradition that we had for us was usually, I think, if I remember correctly, was to go obviously in the morning to church, the mass, pray, be all excited because we would get our gifts during the night of the 24th to the 25th. So we would actually get them and see them the 25th in the morning, because it would be like during the night, right? And then we were so excited, but my mom was like, "Nope, we are going to church. That's that's not a not a negotiation here. We going to church." And she made sure that we went to church, and then after that we could play and all that stuff. But there was always that family reunion, always that family dinner that we would have. We would eat together, we would have fun together, and then after that everybody would could go her way and have fun in the house, let's say, right? But the point was always to have that family moment, right? Those family moments, even if it was not perfect. And today, living here in Canada, away from my family, I have one brother living in France, and my parents living in Cameroon, and the rest of my siblings. And I kind of see family definitely total different way now, because I've been away from my family for so long that now even the little things, like just being on the phone, is something that I value so much now, that I could not talk to my mom, let's say, for days, but when we are on the phone, we're talking about everything. We are spending hours talking. Hours, hours, hours. My brothers, my siblings, the same thing. We don't talk much on the phone, we text a lot, but when we are on the phone, we are spending so many hours. And I don't even see the time passing by, because it's my brother, it's my sister, it's my other brother. So this value that you have to find even within your unbroken families. And when we go back at whatever the society, and I would say the Western world more than the developing countries, because they're not there, and I hope they will never get there, to the point of just being scared of even saying Merry Christmas to people. When I see where we're going in terms of the society, and how much we want to kind of always delete and erase what is the essence of Christmas, what is the essence of the pure love, it's something where it's just more, it's sad to see that, because we are getting to a point where we see so many broken families, so many divisions, that we want to always keep whatever makes it exciting to be part of just celebrating Christmas, and never the downside of what it is to celebrate Christmas, right? And for me, Christmas is all about the joy, but the joy and the pure joy is just that love that Jesus Christ gave for us, right? That He had for us to be and come into the family, into a family, to represent many families out there, right? Is that the fact that every single year, every single 25th of December, you have that opportunities, you have that door open to you, and it's opening every day, by the way, but it's just a special door because of the Christmas celebration, because of the of Jesus Christ being born, that you get to have that new love kind of flourished again, right? Renewed again, right? Like you are able to receive Jesus Christ in your heart, in your family, every single year, every single day, every single day, but mostly every single year, because of Christmas. And when I see so many doors closed, when I see so many people not even being able to be in front of the own siblings, being there and not even caring for that, I'm always like, you have no idea what you already have, but you are just getting rid of it altogether. You're not trying to understand what you have. You're just getting rid of it. And that's the same thing with Christmas, with the celebration, where we're getting to a point where we are a lot more excited about buying the gift, buying the presents, and all that stuff, than just going to the mass in the morning and just being there contemplating and being so joyful to share that with other people from the church, and really celebrate that joy of Jesus being born into our world as a human being, the Son of God, and really admire it, love it, cherish it, and then share that joy. And for the Holy Family celebration right after Christmas, the 25th, it's another momentum. It's another opportunity for you. It's another chapter. It's another step. And the beauty of the Catholic faith, I always will say that, is that we are able to get everything from the divine into the human life, right? We are able to get understand the Son of God, not just from the divine perspective, but from the human perspective, right? Getting to be born into our world, into our family, admire it, cherish it, just get it and value it so much that you want to transmit it to everybody in your families, right? Everything in your with your siblings, but everything in bigger families. And this year, there was those moments that I shared with my boyfriend's family. It was so beautiful because it was simple, the gift, the present, but it's just the moment. I think my favorite moments was really when we were playing games, right? We were all together on the table, nothing complicated, nothing over planned, but something that is just a simple moment into the most simpleness of it all. And being able to be there around on the table and having them and just playing games, right? Her mom being there as well, and just playing games and just looking at us, and then being there and then just making jokes and cracking jokes. It was such a good moment, beautiful moment, that it's those simple things that, yes, we have to cherish, and we have to think about family when we think about Christmas, but we shouldn't forget the essence of that family. We shouldn't forget that the essence of the joy is Jesus Christ himself. The essence of the love is Jesus Christ himself. Being born into families is just the pure divine love that we are able to cherish after. So it was just that beautiful moment that I have today, and that I wanted to share with you. And hopefully something is gonna resonate with you here, right? Whatever that I'm saying, because it's never necessarily planned, those little videos. It could be anything and everything I have in mind, but nothing necessarily planned. So hopefully it made sense for you, right? And hopefully you had an amazing Christmas, and wherever you are, you have your families, you have your siblings, you have people that you love, people that you cherish the most, and that you are very much happy with that. And yeah, that was pretty much it. And for the rest, I'm gonna see you for another video, definitely, most likely. And there's a lot of things planned for 2025. Nothing clear yet, but things planned. I just put it that way. So whenever you're gonna see this video, I hope you're gonna have a beautiful beginning of the year, because at the time that I'm filming it, we're not into the 2025 yet. We literally the 30th of December, so it's almost 2025, but not. So I'm not gonna say Happy New Year. You're probably gonna see that during Happy New Year, probably, but just think of it as something that is going to happen, not yet. So I hope you're having a beautiful beginning of the year here. So I'm gonna see you for my next video. Like I always say, keep smiling, because it's free and contagious in a good way.